Welcome back to WordPress website. I'm Mary Kane with Blogsite Studio. Well, we've come a long way with our website. We have installed it, we have built it, we have added pages, and we have a new post to launch. But before we do that, we need to take a look at a very important issue, which is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is the art and science of making your site more friendly to search engines so that they can send you more traffic. It's done by a number of techniques on the site, as well as establishing a relationship with the search engines so that they can help you measure your response as well as help you optimize further. All the search engine optimization tactics in the world will not help you unless you can measure and analyze your site's traffic, known as analytics. Analytics tools are provided by all the top search engines, but today we'll deal with Google, the most powerful search engine of them all. Let's start by logging into Google. If you go straight to Google Analytics, you'll be allowed to sign in with your Google account. And it will send you straight to Google Analytics. Once you're there, press Admin, and on the Admin page, you're going to create a new account, like so. On the new account page, you're going to insert your account name and the website name, which are often the same things. And then in website URL, you're going to pick either HTTP or HTTPS, depending on if you have a security socket layer or SSL. If you don't, then just use HTTP. You're going to paste in your website URL without the HTTP, as it already exists there. You're going to pick a category, and then you're going to pick a reporting zone. I live in Canada, so I am going to place myself there, and I'm in Vancouver. Here's my time zone, and that's it. Now I'm going to get my tracking ID after I accept the terms of service. And here's my website tracking code. This is the code that is going to tell Google everything about your site, and you also have a tracking ID up here, which will come in handy in some places. But for the most part, this is what you need to pay attention to. So let's just go ahead and copy that. Okay, here we are on the dashboard of my new site, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into Appearances and Editor. And this is kind of a dark, shady place. It looks a little scary because it has a lot of code displayed. All of the templates for your files are listed on the right here. And it's a good idea to not really touch any of this stuff except when you're putting in the Google Analytics and other Google codes. And the place you're going to put it is in Theme Header. And Theme Header will come up, and this is what your theme starts with. This is what the code looks like. Okay, so the best place to put the Google Analytics code is in the header, just before the body tag. So you want to put it right where the head tag has the end tag. The head extends from here, from this place to here. And so what you want to do is put it right in there, make a space, and then paste in the code. So this is what we've just pasted in, all of this. And it won't hurt a thing. Just hit Update File. So there's that, but don't expect to see any action at your site yet because it hasn't started recording any hits. Okay, making friends with Google is really a two-pronged approach. First, you're going to set up Google Analytics, and then you're going to set up Webmaster Tools, which is now called Search Console, so they make it a little confusing. But if you Google either and you go to Webmaster Tools and you're signed in, this is what it's going to look like. I have an account here already that's in the various types of URLs, HTTP and HTTPS with a www and without. So it's a good idea to have all of them tracked by Google. So what we're going to do with Google Webmaster Tools is we're going to add a property. We're going to insert our URL, this time with the HTTP. It's a website. We're going to add it. And this is what happens. They will ask to verify your ownership of your site because they want to make sure that you are actually a real person and not a robot putting up fake sites to fake people out. So they want an assurance that you're real. They give you all kinds of different options for verifying your site. Most of them I find annoying. I like to go with the alternative method of placing an HTML tag again on my site's homepage, and I'm going to put it right next to where I put the Google Analytics script. So I'm going to copy this script back on my theme header code. I'm going to place the Webmaster Tools script right in there. So here it is, site verification for Google. And of course, I'm going to update the file, which will, of course, update successfully. Having placed this code in the header of my website, I am now going to verify the site. Oops, it didn't work. What a surprise. So our site was not verified by Webmaster Tools, Search Console. The simple reason is that our site is covered by the maintenance mode and Google simply could not get to it. So what we're going to do back at our site is we're going to deactivate the maintenance mode. On our maintenance mode page, we are going to hit deactivate and be sure to press Save Settings. So now your site will be visible to the world and to Google. Alright, now that we've deactivated the maintenance mode on our site, we're going to try again to verify. Yay! It's now verified. Great job! Woohoo! Boy, this really gives you a boost. Now, while you're making friends with Google, it's a good idea to shake hands with it in various places. Among them are Google Plus, which works across the internet. Lots of things are hooked up to it. So you can fill out a profile there about your personal self. And for your business, you should open an account with Google My Business. So that you can have nice listings the way they show on this picture. And it definitely enhances the search engine results page when people Google your business. And it just, anything you can do to make friends with Google is a good thing. Okay, here we are back at our post that we haven't published yet because we want to do some work on it in the area of search engine optimization, which is basically the art of making your site as good as possible for the search engines to find. And we're going to do that by working with a plugin called Yoast SEO. And what Yoast does, it does a couple of things. It will help you with your on-page optimization, and it will also help you with your off-page optimization in terms of dealing with search engines and other services. So it's kind of two-part. It's got uh, this page module, which is a tool to help you optimize just this one page. But it also has a lot of settings for your titles, meta social, sitemaps, etc. We'll get to those later. Right now we're going to work on this site or this page and make it as good as possible for the search engines. Now, when you look at this, you can see what it will show you is how your site is going to look to in the search engine results page. Here you have the title, and that corresponds, of course, to your title of the page, your heading 1 title. And then it's got the permalink. Typically, since this is a subdirectory of this other site of mine, it's a little longer than it should be. But you can see it cuts off of the search engine results page, which is not so good. We'll work on that. And then you see the description, which we haven't filled in. And so if you don't fill in manually a description, what it will do is take the first sentence from your post and use that. Then it gives you the option to create a focus keyword based on your keyword research. Now there are two ways to choose keywords. One is by writing for the keywords, and another way is to choose keywords based on what you've written. Now in our case, we've written a post, and the obviously most obvious keyword is Domaine du Castel. Maybe Judean Hills might be a keyword. Israel might be a keyword. But overwhelmingly, the word that is dominating this particular post is Domaine du Castel. So we're going to go with that. And see what happens. Okay, once you enter your focus keyword in this field, several things happen. It will figure out what your, it will analyze your page and decide what things are working and what things are not. Yoast will color code your results. These are all green, which means this is a good thing. These are you know, there's a nice length. The keyword density was found 4 times, which is 0.8%. There's enough words. There's some outbound and internal links. The focus keyword appears in the first paragraph, etc., etc. Medium bad things are the slug is too long. That's our permalink up here. The images don't have the keyword in their alt tags, and we can fix that. And I have not used the keyword in a subheading in the copy. That's the H2 tag. What's really bad is that I'm linking to a page with the keyword that I want to rank this page for. So I'm actually competing with the Domaine du Castel winery in terms of keywords, but okay. And also no meta description has been specified, and that is this description here, which does not contain the keyword, so that's why it's having a problem with that. Okay, so how do we make some fixes? Let's start with the meta description. open up the edit snippet box, and we can fix our title. Basically, this is the code for what you're seeing here: the title, the page, and the site name. What we'd rather have is just the title of the page, and we can get it from right here. We can copy that and paste it right in there. Okay. We also can copy and paste a meta description, or we can just write our own. But let's grab something from up here. Let's grab this line about how they came into being. Aha, it's too long. Yoast will show the description in red if it's too long. And and you can see it up here where it trails off right at the butt right here. So why don't we just cut it off right here? And do we want to minimize the slug? Why don't we delete a couple of words from there that are not the most strong words? So you can see up here it has just we've just cut opens new, I mean, and so now the permalink more closely matches the slug that's right here, and we can call this cornerstone content. Yes. The analysis that mentioned the meta description is gone, and in fact, it's right here. The meta description contains the focus keyword. Good. The images, we can add the focus keyword. We can add it to the photos easily just by opening them up. Okay. And oh, actually, look here. The focus keyword was in the heading 2 tag, but it was misspelled. So there you go. Now we'll see what they say about that. Yes, that H2 analysis is gone. The slug is still too long. This is pretty much a guide to how to set up your page in an optimal way. Okay, so there are other things you can do once you get to this point, and it looks pretty good. If you've got a couple of red and orange things happening, that's okay. The other thing you can do in Yoast is set up your social information. And so you can set this up in the same way when you post this particular post on Facebook. You could add the title that you want it to have. So let's say we want it to have a slightly different title. As a new winery, and then maybe the description might be different. Let's use this one, and an image. So you can maybe you don't want that original image. Maybe you want this one, and you can set it up so that when you post on Facebook, you're going to see this image, this description, and this title. All right. And you can do the same thing on Twitter. You can set a title, description, and an image. There are other settings for meta robots index and canonical URLs. If you know what those things are, you can play with these. But we're not going to get into them right now. Right now, we're going to save the draft. All right, so here we're on the back end of Yoast SEO. All of these settings can be seen in the navigation bar here. We're on the general dashboard. There's a lot to set up. If you don't know much about this, you could use the configuration wizard and that will walk you through all the different steps. You can go ahead and configure it. Now, if you want to, you can explore more. These are all various settings. I think the more important thing to deal with right now is the XML sitemaps. Now, sitemaps are submitted to Google every time you update your blog. Like if you post a new blog, then it will update the sitemap immediately to Google. But if you want to have a look at your sitemap, and it's showing actually more than I would like it to see. I don't want the post tags to be submitted, and I don't want the category tags to be submitted. So I'm just going to change that by going to post types. Let's post, that's good. And let's see, excluded posts. If you wanted to exclude specific pages, you would put the post IDs in this space. Taxonomies. Okay, here we go. Categories, tags, and format. I don't want those in my sitemap, so I'm just going to deselect and change those settings. So now when I go back and I look at my sitemap, there are only two things, the posts and the pages showing. That's all I want for right now. So to tell Google about my new site, I am going to submit an XML sitemap, and to do that, all I need to do is copy sitemap_index.html, not the whole URL, but just that part. We're going to copy that. So with my sitemap address copied, I'm going back to Search Console. This is my main page with all my sites. Here's the new one. Actually, I'm going to click on the link, and that takes me to the dashboard. There's nothing to see. It'll have some messages for me, such as improve the search presence of my site, which I will click on and do all the things it suggests. Add the different versions, preferred version, target country, etc. But the best thing I can do right now is submit a sitemap. And that's found under crawl, under sitemaps. What I'm going to do is add and test it. Most of the URL is filled in already. I'm just going to add this permalink for the sitemap index. I am going to submit that. And now it's saying all is good. It's submitted, pending, index pending. And if we click on it, we can see the details that we saw a few minutes ago in Yoast. So it's the page sitemap and the post sitemap, and everything looks good. No errors, no index errors. So we know from this that Google can see what we're doing, and when they send their spiders to come around and index our pages, they have a map, and basically that's what this gives them. Okay, I just refreshed the page after a couple of minutes, and the sitemap is now showing up as a graph. It's showing me the number of pages I have, and it's showing me the number of images I have. So all of the pages and all of the images are showing up. So that's all a very good thing. But that's not all. The reason Search Console Webmaster Tools exists is to help you improve your site. And it has lots and lots of tools that you can investigate, structured data, data highlighters, mobile pages, search traffic. It gives you a little bit of analytics. and it'll show you who's linking to you and who are you linking to. All kinds of index information, crawl stats, security issues. It doesn't have any for this site. And web tools. It's a good idea to take advantage of everything that Webmaster Tools has to offer. So this is just the beginning of search engine optimization, meant to get you started with just the right tools. So now it's safe to publish that post.